Most people think you need a strict diet or crazy workouts to live past 100, but the reality is simpler. In the next few minutes, I'll show you 3 tiny habits that research proves can add years to your life without overhauling your routine. We'll uncover why most miss them, reveal exactly what each habit looks like, and give you crystal clear steps to slip them into any day. Ready to boost your longevity with almost no effort? Let's start with the habit that powers your cells from the inside out. It's easier than you think, and results speak for themselves. Habit 1. Consistent low-intensity movement. Why consistent low-intensity movement matters is simple. A sedentary life is a fast-track ticket to cellular aging. When you sit for hours, your muscles receive almost no glucose. Insulin spikes, inflammation quietly builds, and the tiny repair mechanisms that keep your DNA tidy start to lag. Over time, that metabolic slowdown translates into higher risks of heart disease, type 2, diabetes, and even dementia. In other words, the more you stay still, the faster your body's internal clock ticks forward. That lingering inflammation not only ages your arteries, but also accelerates cellular senescence, meaning your organs lose function faster than they should, and reduces your overall resilience to stress daily. What counts as low-intensity movement isn't a marathon or a heat session. It's any activity that raises your heart rate just enough to break a light sweat. Think walking at a comfortable pace, standing up while you work, gentle stretching, or even pacing during a phone call. Researchers consistently point to a target of about 10,000 steps a day, or roughly 30 minutes of non-exercise activity thermogenesis, what scientists call NEAT. That's the energy you burn while you're not formally exercising, and it adds up faster than most people realize. So how do you turn that definition into a habit you actually follow? Start by building micro breaks into your day. Set a timer to stand or walk for 2 minutes every hour. Those hourly hops are easy to remember, and they prevent the blood from pooling in your legs. When you're on a conference call, ditch the chair and pace around the room. You'll stay alert, and your brain gets a fresh burst of oxygen. During TV time, swap the couch for a step in place routine. March in place for the commercial breaks, or do a few gentle calf raises between episodes. The key is consistency, not intensity. So aim for at least 150 minutes of low-level activity spread across the day. Science backs up those simple moves. A 2019 study of over 400,000 adults found that people who averaged at least 7,000 steps a day lived, on average, 5.5 years longer than those who stayed under 3,000 steps. Another longitudinal analysis published in The Lancet linked higher NEAT scores, measured by daily standing time and light walking, to a 12% reduction in cardiovascular mortality. Even short bursts matter. Research from the University of Copenhagen showed that breaking up sitting with 2-minute walks every hour improved insulin sensitivity as much as a moderate-intensity workout performed 3 times a week. The evidence is clear. Consistent, low-grade activity rewires your metabolism and slows the cellular aging clock. The biggest mistake people make is assuming only exercise is countsy. You'll hear the myth that you need a 30-minute jog or a gym session to reap health benefits, and then you skip activity on days you can't fit that in. In reality, those short, frequent bouts of movement are just as powerful for blood flow, mitochondrial function, and inflammation control. Treat every step, stretch, or stand up as a credit toward your longevity budget. Try this right now. Add 5 extra minutes of brisk walking after lunch, and notice how your afternoon energy lifts. It's a tiny time investment that pays off instantly and compounds over weeks. Once you lock in this baseline of movement, the next habit amplifies its effect by giving your body the social and purposeful fuel it craves. Habit 2. Daily social connection and purpose. Why daily social connection and a sense of purpose matter is as clear as the need for movement. Humans evolved in tight, neat groups, and our bodies reward us with lower stress hormones, stronger immune responses, and healthier heart rhythms when we feel socially supported. When you're isolated, cortisol stays elevated, inflammation spikes, and the brain's repair mechanisms slow, all of which shave years off your lifespan. Likewise, lacking purpose creates a chronic mental fatigue that mirrors the physiological wear and tear of physical inactivity. What counts as quality social interaction isn't the number of friends you have on a platform, but the depth of the exchange. A 10-minute face-to-face conversation where you really listen, share a laugh, or solve a problem together triggers oxytocin release, which, in turn, lowers blood pressure and improves sleep quality. Purpose, on the other hand, is a daily North Star, something that makes you feel your actions matter beyond the moment. It can be as modest as mentoring a junior colleague, volunteering at a community garden, or setting a personal micro goal like learning a new recipe each week. How to weave these into a busy schedule is surprisingly straightforward. First, schedule a 10-minute check-in with a friend or family member at the same time each day. Make it a non-negotiable calendar event, just like a work meeting. Second, join a group that meets regularly around an activity you enjoy, whether that's a book club, a walking group, or a hobby class. The recurring rhythm forces attendance and builds trust. Third, anchor purpose to a morning ritual. Write down one specific task that contributes to a larger goal, then tick it off before noon. This tiny act creates a feedback loop. Completion triggers dopamine, reinforcing the habit and reminding you why you're showing up. Research from the blue zones, areas where people routinely live past 100, shows that strong social networks and a clear sense of purpose are the two most consistent predictors of longevity. In each area, Greece, for example, residents gathered daily for coffee and conversation, and they all describe a reason to get up that ranges from tending a garden to caring for grandchildren. A 202 meta-analysis of 70 studies found that individuals with robust social ties had a 50% lower risk of premature death, while those who reported a strong sense of purpose enjoyed a 30% reduction in all-cause mortality. The numbers line up. Connection and meaning act like a daily dose of protective medicine. The biggest pitfall is confusing quantity with quality. Scrolling through feeds, liking posts, or counting friends on a platform feels social, but it rarely triggers the oxytocin surge that genuine interaction does. In fact, excessive screen time can increase loneliness, counteracting any perceived benefit. Likewise, purpose that feels forced, like checking off a generic exercise goal without personal meaning, fails to light that dopamine spark and can quickly become another chore. The secret is to keep both connection and purpose authentic, personal, and emotionally resonant. Quick win. Tonight, write down one person you haven't spoken to in a while and send a short, sincere message. Then, think of a purpose-driven task for tomorrow, perhaps preparing a healthy lunch for a coworker, or planting a seed. Completing those two actions will give a mood lifter and a measurable step toward the habit that adds years. Once you've built this social purpose foundation, the final habit locks everything together, turning movement and connection into a longevity engine. Key takeaway: 3 tiny, evidence-backed habits: steady, low-intensity movement, daily, meaningful social contact, and purposeful daily action can add years to your life without drastic overhauls. Pick one habit to try this week. Track a small win, and notice the shift in energy and mood. Drop a comment below telling me which habit resonated most, and hit subscribe for more science-based longevity hacks you can start today. Over time, they compound, giving you a healthier, longer life.